Good morning for the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Sunday, April 16th. Going to have those warmer temperatures, even warmer than yesterday. Temperatures afternoon today are going to be peaking in the 50s to low 70s. We got our next system on the way for early next week. I'll be breaking that down for you this morning. Key points we're going to focus on today. That warming trend will peak today. Again, afternoon highs will be fairly pleasant, 50s to low 70s with some locally breezy winds. But we're going to continue to monitor for some minor sheet flooding impacts. As you saw there on the cover slide, seeing some minor sheet flooding impacts in Franklin County. And we'll continue to monitor that over the coming days. Breezy wind gusts will return this afternoon. We're looking at widespread wind gusts between about 25 to 45 miles an hour. Those will drop off during the overnight hours and again pick up for Monday and Tuesday as our next system rolls into the area. With that system, we are looking at a mix of rain, snow, breezy to locally gusty winds. Could see some blowing and drifting snow where we get that new snow falling. We'll have plenty of wind to share, especially on Tuesday as a cold front drops through, and that will include a chance for some thunderstorms as it works through our area during the later part of Tuesday. Satellite this morning, mostly clear skies to kick off the day. May see some patchy morning fog along some of our waterways, but outside of that, be a pretty beautiful morning. Temperatures on the cooler side, but again, super beautiful morning as this ridge of high pressure shifts overhead. Bigger picture, you can see that ridge of high pressure will be shifting east. You got a couple of weather makers in the Gulf of Alaska right now, and these will be working into our area throughout the week. So we got that main one that's currently off the coast of British Columbia. That one will be working in here as this upper level trough works into the Pacific Northwest and eventually Idaho. But you can see beyond that, we are seeing some continued active weather, and that'll keep chances for showers continuing through much of next week. Weather risk outlook for the next 5 days. Main concerns today will descend around some afternoon breezy winds, strongest up in the central mountains, eastern Magic Valley. And then by Monday, keeping with those breezy winds, but again, starting to tap into that precipitation. Later in the day, we will see some mix of rain, snow, and looks a little more heavy as you get up into the Sawtooth area, Stanley, Redfish Lakes area. But for Tuesday, it looks like it's when we're going to have our most impactful period. Mix of rain, snow, and gusty winds. We're seeing some widespread gusts between about 35 to 55 miles an hour for Tuesday as that cold front drops through. But by Wednesday and Thursday, behind that mage system, it's going to be slightly drier early Wednesday morning, but we are going to have chances, especially during the afternoon and evening hours as we get some diurnal heating, kicking off chances for rain and snow showers. Most of that's going to be snow, but we will continue those chances through the later part of the week. Again, keeping in mind that potential snow melt. It's been fairly warm out there, especially during the afternoon hours with plenty of sunshine. So we are going to continue to see our lower elevations, especially in our mountains further south, east, and north. Outside of the Snake Plain, we're well clear here, but still seeing some snow melt ongoing with some minor sheet flooding impacts, especially as you head out into our mountain valleys across the southeast, eastern, and some valleys up north. Thought this would be a helpful comparison. This takes a look at April 6th versus April 16th satellite imagery. So you can see here on the 6th, this is after our pretty big snowstorm we had in Pocatello. You can see widespread snow across much of the region. But now, April 16th, we're seeing a lot more of those clearing conditions. Much drier conditions are going to be out there, especially across the Snake Plain, Magic Valley. But we still got a ways to go, especially as you get north, south, and east of the Snake Plain. But start to see some of those warmer temperatures work into some of those mountain valleys, those higher elevations. But across our lower elevations, we're in the clear, but keeping an eye on those minor sheet flooding impacts outside of the Snake Plain. Temperatures for today are going to be on the cooler side, at least teens and 20s, but much colder. We recorded negative 10 yesterday in Copper Basin, so it's much warmer than that today. We'll be starting off the day 20s and 30s for most, with afternoon highs fairly pleasant, if not just a touch below normal. Afternoon highs in the 50s to low 70s. Wind gusts today are going to be slightly breezy. Again, we're keeping with those wind gusts throughout the afternoon hours, peaking during those periods, because between about 20 to 30 miles an hour. And this will continue into the overnight hours, again, peaking during the afternoon, evening hours, and then dropping off once we get past sunset. Temperatures for your Monday are going to be fairly cool, at least up north, but seasonable as you get further south. 20s and 30s, maybe even some low 40s in the Magic Valley, with afternoon highs on Monday returning to the 40s, 50s, and low 60s. That increased cloud cover ahead of our next system coming in will help to keep temperatures slightly cooler, but again, at least keeping with those trends before we drop for Tuesday behind that cold front. Wind gusts on Monday, so we're going to see some slightly breezy winds. Again, gusts about 20 to 40 miles an hour across the board. And as in the end to Monday night, those winds get even stronger further north as precipitation impacts begin up in the central mountains and eastern highlands. Snowfall amounts on Monday, so this is generally going to be later in the day. Pretty dry to kick off your Monday for tomorrow, but as we get progressively throughout the day, afternoon, evening hours, think of those time frame. Everybody's going to stay mostly dry, but as you head up into the Stanley Basin, up through Driggs and some of the Teton Pass area, going to see some light snowfall, but certainly as you get into the western Sawtooths, looks pretty reasonable for later in the day on getting some pretty good snow, but for everybody else should stay fairly dry. Temperatures for Tuesday, so again, we're keeping with those colder temperatures for Tuesday, and it'll drop even more for Wednesday. So we got temperatures on Tuesday in the teens and 20s further north, 30s further south, with afternoon highs struggling to get into the 30s, mid-40s, maybe 50 degrees as you get into western Magic Valley, but it'll be feeling much colder than normal as that's been the going trend this spring. Wind gusts on Tuesday, so this will be the more impactful period. We're going to see widespread gusts between about 30 to 55 miles an hour. So again, strongest wind gusts will peak as that cold front drops through. But with that, we are going to see some snow. So you can think blowing, drifting snow. And it should be, keeping an eye on that for the Tuesday commute, especially during the evening hours as we are monitoring the chance for some snow squalls that'll work through here as that cold front drops in out of the northwest. Snowfall amounts on Tuesday are going to be fairly light in the Snake Plain. Got moisture coming in out of the northwest, which is going to generally shadow our areas, at least in the Snake Plain population center-wise. But heading out of the mountains, they will be doing fairly well with this event. We're generally looking at about 1 to 3 inches in most of our valleys as you head further north and south and east, with highest totals as you get up into Stanley, Island Park, Driggs, Swan Valley area, with some pretty reasonable totals as you get into the mountains, generally looking at about 4 to 8 inches. Some locally higher totals, especially up in the Central Mountains, Tetons, and Bear River Range. And this is taking a look at that totals between Monday and Tuesday. So this is taking into account late Monday through all throughout the day Tuesday through Wednesday at 12 a.m. So you can see we'll see a widespread, 1 to 5 inches, pushing about 6 inches maybe in Stanley across the board in our mountain valleys. But as you head out into the Snake Plain, not looking at a whole lot. We'll see a mix of rain and snow there as temperatures drop, but everyone should be transitioning over to all snow once that cold front works through later part of Tuesday. Temperatures on Wednesday, so it's going to be fairly cold to kick off your Wednesday, single digits and teens further north, 20s across the board further south as everyone gets back below freezing, with afternoon highs on Wednesday in the 30s to upper 40s. Wind chills Wednesday morning, so as those breezy winds work in behind the front, it'll be feeling pretty cold out there. Single digits above and below zero for wind chills, with warmest areas, at least wind chill wise, in the teens, so it'll be feeling fairly cold as you head into Wednesday morning. Wind gusts on Wednesday, keep it with that breezy wind trend. It's going to be much less than we saw on Tuesday, generally about 20 to 35 miles an hour. Snowfall amounts on Wednesday, so as you can see, that brunt of that system will come in on Tuesday, and by Wednesday we're seeing the snowfall chances drop, but still carrying that, especially in the mountains, on some residual moisture working in behind that system. And temperatures on Thursday, so we're starting to see a warm up again, a little bit warmer during the morning on Thursday. Looks like teens and 20s across the board, with afternoon highs a little bit higher, 30s, 40s, mid 50s as you head out into the western Magic Valley. And wind gusts on Thursday sounded like a broken record, but we got those breezy winds coming across the valleys again. So we see gusts about 20 to 35 miles an hour for Thursday as we keep chances for snow continuing. Again, not all that much, but keeping with the mountains, they will be doing best in this event, just picking up, a little bit of snow at a time, and some of that will work into the valleys throughout the daytime hours. And that's about all I have for you this morning. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have an awesome day.